Alright guys, so I left Iraq a few days ago. Been traveling ever since. Had 2 nights without any sleep. Guys are just doing some furniture removals here. They would, of course, right when I want to talk to the camera. Anyway, like I was saying, left Dubai a few nights ago. It was quite hectic and full-on couple of travel days. Simply because from Baghdad I flew to Istanbul because I got a free ticket with my miles, and had a 14-hour layover in Istanbul. So I ran out of the airport for about 7 hours, and went and did a bit of shopping and ate some food and whatnot, as you do when you go to Istanbul. Also went and saw Mama Cat, which is my favorite cat and the mother of Tangi. Then back to the airport. Flight was then delayed, which really sucked. So yeah, but finally got myself here to Dubai. So actually what I'm on here for is to sum up a few things about Iraq. Now previously the visa on arrival was $77 US, and ideally paid with the correct money. Now it's $78 US, so it's gone up $1. I don't know if that's an ongoing thing or whether there's 3 people in the office so they all want $1 each, because technically the visa is supposed to be $75, and the $2, which is now $3, is a stamping fee. So who knows what's going on, but cost $78 for myself and a French guy, Sebastian, who entered on the same evening. Hotels, where to stay in Baghdad. Well, you know, you've got high-end $200 or $300 US a night, not really worth the money. And then you've got cheap places which are around $20 to $30 US a night for a single person. Really quite disgusting, some of them. Iraqis, you really need to lift your game when it comes to hotel rooms. $30 US for the dive room I had at Royal Garden is not good. When I was given the key to check into the room, no toilet paper, no towel, floor hadn't been vacuumed, there were bits of toilet paper and tissues on the floor, clumps of hair. Also had to ask the housekeeping guy to come back and change the sheets, because I hadn't changed the sheets, and the shower head had been disconnected from the hose, so all I could shower with was the hose. So I was holding the hose and just squirting it at myself for 2 days or a day and a half. So rooms are pretty hit and miss, or mostly miss, not many hits. I would suggest, however, staying at Shana Shield Hotel. Looks pretty good on first inspection. There are some problems, but the room was good. Staff were excellent. They were also generous with water and tea, and good at changing money. Changed money several times and was very happy about that. Transfer from the airport. You cannot get a regular taxi from Baghdad airport into town like you can in every other city in the world. They're still super sensitive about security issues at the airport, and you have to get Al Mamayas or Mosafa taxis, which are VIP taxi service basically, for 50,000 dinar, which is about $38 US, into town. Now of course if there's 2 or 3 of you, that's great value. If it's just one, it's pricey, but it's door to door, and they go through less security checks on the way in than if you take the minibus, which is the other option. So you take a regular taxi from downtown to the airport garage. From the airport garage you get on a minibus, or these days they're using nice SUVs, and then you head into the airport. So it's a 2-step process. Still costs you about 30,000 dinars. So by paying 50,000 dinars you skip some security and you go point to point without changing. So personally I think it's worth it. Kind of over security in Iraq. At the airport your bags scan like 3 or 4 times, but at no time are the actual scanning men actually looking at the camera. So it's all just for show. And you know, most other airports in the world check once and check thoroughly. Come on, Iraq, you can check once and check thoroughly, please. You don't need to check 4 times or badly. All right, what else? No, there's no exit stamping fee, you just exit. Someone asked me about that. I've never paid an exit fee. I've never paid for an exit stamp. There's no such thing as an exit stamp. More fake news. Traveling around Iraq, shared taxis or private taxis, up to you. Any taxi around Baghdad is between 5 and 10,000 dinar, so that's about what, 3 to 8 US dollars to go anywhere in the city of Baghdad. And then out of the city, you know, you're looking at a commensurate price. So it's 15,000 to Kabul, for example, from Baghdad if you're shared, and it's 45,000 if you want the whole car for yourself. Iraq still is a great place to travel. That hasn't changed. People are definitely its #1 asset. The Iraqi people are lovely, and some of the best people in the world are in Iraq, there's no doubt. Food is also very good. Hygiene could do with some work, but overall it's fantastic and well priced. Now, when I was in Iraq, I put up an Instagram post asking if anyone had any questions about travel for a solo traveler in Iraq, and I got a few responses. So #1, how is the public transportation? Is it useful for a solo travel? No, it's not. Public transportation, if you're talking about buses, trains, that kind of thing, no, there are none basically. I think Iraq does have the odd bus or two, but no one uses them. It's more trouble than it's worth, and so time consuming, and they're in such bad condition you wouldn't bother with them. The train does run from Baghdad to Basra and back when it decides to. That schedule is also not 100% fixed, and is also more trouble than it's worth when you can get a shared taxi straight to Basra. So I wouldn't bother with anything like that. As I had said before, private taxis or shared taxis from the shared taxi garage. There's one in the north of Baghdad and there's one in the south of Baghdad, and that'll get you to destinations in either direction. Okay, next one. What are the costs like compared to other countries in the region? Well, overall, I'd say Iraq is cheap compared to other countries in the region. Sure, the standard is not up to Dubai or Jordan or Lebanon, but it is cheap. It's not an expensive destination. I mean, the visa's quite expensive, 78 US dollars. Getting a flight there if you're already in the region is not expensive. Hotels, like I said, 30 US up to 200 US, depending on what kind of budget you like to travel on. And private and shared taxis are reasonably priced. So I'd say it's a mid-range destination overall in the world, and probably a low budget destination in the Middle East. Another question, how's the food? Well, the food's divine. The food's great. The falafel's good, the sandwiches are good, shawarma's good, grilled chicken's good, maskoof, the local dish. Yeah, you can't complain about the food. Do you feel safe there as a solo female traveler? Absolutely. As a solo female traveler, absolutely safe. Of course, you know, things can happen, and things do happen. You know, you could have something happen in a market, indiscriminate, and you're there just wandering through the market, wrong place, wrong time kind of thing. But targeted against me, no, nothing. And I've walked the streets late at night, and I've walked the streets early in the morning when no one's been on them, and I've walked the markets at a busy time of day, and I didn't feel any harassment or any threatening vibes whatsoever. So I'd say solo female, you're safe. Of course you should dress respectfully. Don't go showing your shoulders too much, don't go showing too much leg, and you'll be just fine. Another question, do you get any leery stares? Well, probably yes, probably some. Less so than many other countries. I've traveled to so many countries. Other countries, yes, you can get a lot of leery stares. I'd say the men in Iraq are more respectful than many other men in the region. So no, that's not a problem. And even if someone was giving me a leery stare, it wouldn't bother me whatsoever. I don't pay attention to that stuff. But if you do, I don't think you have to worry about it in Iraq per se. Alright, and someone else's question was my business card, girls on the loose. So I'm not sure what the question there is, but maybe what does the channel's name mean? It means girls exploring, girls out having fun, girls being free, girls going where they want. And yeah, it doesn't mean loose girls, it means girls on the loose. Quite different. Loose in this case is a noun, not a adjective. Alright guys, thanks for watching my Iraq series, and I'm sure Steph and I'll be back in Iraq before long. It's a country we dearly admire and love to visit. So keep watching, more to come, and we'll see you in the next one. Hopefully we'll get to Saudi Arabia this year. That's on the cards the next 6 months. So love you, and stay happy, stay strong, and thanks for watching. We're girls on the loose.